Hello, leader de proyectos.com. My name is David Mario Smith. I'm based in Connecticut in the United States. I'm going to talk to you today about social media and the opportunities and the threats. With social media, there are a lot of opportunities, but also a lot of challenges when dealing with social media and you're engaging with an audience. At Gartner, we've been looking at collaboration and social media for several years now. And what we've done and what we've have been looking at is we see collaboration in this area of work in sort of 4 generations. The first generation of collaboration was really around email and communicating. The second generation was really around sharing. So we had things like instant messaging and even SharePoint began to emerge. And the third generation we began to see was really around the whole Web 2.0 era, around social media, social networking, things like Facebook and so forth. And it was about discovering people, discovering networks, finding people, and also finding content and information, and also sharing information as well. And that whole paradigm shift. And the fourth generation that we're seeing is really around the email never replaced the phone. Instant messaging never replaced email. So the fourth generation is we're seeing is almost this aggregate of all the different technologies and all the previous generations coming together. And how do you access them in a seamless fashion, right? And so we're seeing where interest in the cloud is even more important now. So we're seeing where the delivery of software services are now not just on premises, but now in the cloud. Social networking, social media is now taking on a new light. And so this fourth generation, this aggregate layer, we're seeing things like Facebook, because in Facebook, I can email still, I can do instant messaging, and I can do voice, I can do video. And if you look at Google+, I can do instant messaging, right? I can do a voice even with Google Voice, and I can also do video with Google+ in Hangouts. And so we're seeing where this new paradigm shift, this new era of social media is involving all different types of media, from text to chat, right? Voice and video, all in the same interface. And so we're seeing this also begin to impact enterprises, where enterprises are now looking at, okay, how can we now engage in social media projects and social media initiatives? And when you think of social media, there's sort of 3 different realms. There's the internal facing social media strategy or social networking types of tools, where it's more for the workplace, more internal focused, more for internal collaboration, internal projects, sharing and networking, but inside the workplace itself. And then there is the external facing social media or social networking, where it's the company wants to engage with customers outside of themselves, but they create the space, they create a sort of platform, the website, if you will, and then they can collaborate with with other partners, suppliers, and customers, but they own the space. So there's the internal social software where the company owns the place and it's their people. There's the external facing where the company owns the place, but then they're trying to engage with people outside of the organization. And then there's the public social media, the social web. So you think of things like Facebook, like Twitter, LinkedIn, where the company doesn't own the actual space, and people are vast. There's a vast sea of people that are in the social web and in the public social media. But this is where we're seeing a lot of companies try to start, where they're looking at that space, the Facebooks and different things like that, as a marketing opportunity. So some of the opportunities for social media are right there. The ability to engage a whole new channel of people and a whole new communication, of two-way communication with the constituents. Companies are using it to do brand recognition, to see how their brand is doing in the market, to get feedback on their brand. Companies are doing it to test new products. They can post information about products on Facebook, or do Twitter tweets about new products, and they can get information about those products. But some of the threats that we're also seeing with that is companies realize that they have no control over the public social web. And so when they put things out there, they can't manage or control what people say. And so they're finding that although it's a big opportunity, a new channel to reach customers, the big threat is we can't control it. And the other threat is we can't really put a lot of resources and time to it. Who inside the organization can we, sort of put to be the full-time person to do social media? So we're seeing companies starting to look at outside agencies, agencies that are doing social media monitoring and so forth. I talked to some this week at the conference here, MicroStrategies, Verint, who's also doing social media analytics and text analytics, because companies, they need to understand and monitor and manage what's being said and understand what's being said, and also they have to do something about it. So they get the information from social media analytics, and then they can also use that information to do further marketing and engaging with customers even more. So thank you for listening to me. Again, this is David Mario Smith, and liderproyecto.com. Adios.